Hello folks and welcome to App Screencast, Danny here. Just a quick video today for you on the new iPad. Yes, the iPad has been announced today by Apple and we can actually start pre-ordering from the 16th. So I thought I'd just quickly go through the new specs just for anyone who's interested in knowing what to expect from the new iPad. So let's get straight into it. So what changes have been made to the new iPad? Well, in fact it's not going to be called the iPad 3, which we all expected. It's actually just going to be called the iPad. They're getting rid of the numbers when it comes to the iPad. Now the major difference between the iPad 2 or the major update is going to be the Retina display. Yes, it's getting a Retina display, very similar to what we see on the iPhone. Very high quality display. It's going to be 2048 by 1536 resolution, so it's really high resolution, the most we've seen on a mobile device. Now that's 264 megapixels per inch, and that's going to be 3.1 million total pixels on the screen, which is just huge. So this truly is a Retina display. I think per inch the iPhone has over 300 pixels, where the iPad is only going to have 264 pixels per inch, but you do hold the iPad much further away from your face than you actually do with the iPhone, for example. So in terms of resolution, it pretty much equals the iPhone in real use. In the demo, Apple was showing off some text and some images, and they just look really amazing. And I'm a big fan of the Retina display on the iPhone, so I can only imagine how good it's going to be on a large tablet. So that's the main update we were all hoping for, the Retina display, and we're getting it, so that's great news. Next thing Apple announced was actually the camera will be improved on the iPad, and it's going to be a 5 megapixel camera on the back. They didn't mention nothing about the front facing camera, so I'm assuming that's just going to be the same as last year. So it's a 5 megapixel camera on the back. It's very similar to the iPhone 4 camera, but it's going to be backlit, very similar to the iPhone 4S. It's going to have 5 elements in terms of lenses, 5 element lenses, so that's going to improve picture quality. And generally it's just going to be a much improved camera on the iPad, because the iPad 2 cameras weren't that good, to be honest, so this is a massive update. Also, the video has been much improved on the iPad. Now we're able to shoot in 1080p, which is going to be really great. Imagine recording in 1080p, then seeing it on the nice Retina display. That's going to look really great. It's got video stabilization also. The new iPad's going to come with the A5X chip, which is a dual core chip, meant to be really fast, much faster than a lot of the quad core chips we've seen out there at the minute. It's also got quad core graphics, Apple said, so this is meant to improve the graphics a great deal. Going to be great for a lot of new games what are coming out on the iPad. The next announcement Apple made was that a new iPad will be getting 4G LTE internet. So basically this is the fastest internet you can get on a mobile device, and it's coming to the iPad. We've seen it on a lot of new Android phones that are coming out in the States. They're going to have 4G LTE, or they've had it for a while. Now we're going to get on the iPad, which is just amazing. It'll still obviously support 3G, so if you're in a country which is only supports 3G, you'll still be able to use 3G obviously, but 4G internet for people obviously in America. Networks they'll be supporting will be AT&T, Verizon, Bell, Rogers and TELUS in Canada. So that's all the major networks in North America. No mention about Sprint, so I'm assuming they're not going to be supporting Sprint on the 4G, but obviously you've still got the 3G network as well. Also another thing which we'll mention quickly, which I thought were good, you'll be able to use the iPad as a hotspot, so you'll be able to connect your other devices to the iPad, such as your MacBook for example, or even your phone, so then you'll be able to take advantage of the LTE network. Improved graphics, Retina display, 4G internet. You're probably thinking that Apple iPad's battery life's going to suffer badly here. Well actually no, it's still 10 hours battery life. If you are browsing the web with 4G, then the battery life will drop to 9 hours, but that's still extremely good for a 4G device. Great news also is the iPad will be priced the same price as last year, same as the iPad 2. So the price is starting at $499, which is just great news. They've not actually raised the price, which I kind of thought they might do when I actually saw these new spec improvements. The new iPad actually isn't getting Siri, but it is getting voice dictation, so that's a nice improvement. So if you're wondering what does the new iPad look like, well it's pretty much very similar to the last design, pretty much the exact same, you can hardly tell any difference, but it does actually weigh a little bit more. It now weighs 1.4 pound and it's a little bit thicker, it's now 9.4 millimeters, so not much thicker, not much heavier. Next, Apple actually announced some new applications coming to the iPad to take advantage of the Retina display and obviously the graphics. The two ones what stood out for me was the actual Apple applications. We're going to see iPhoto coming to the iPad. You'll be able to edit images, obviously organise your images, things like that. Looks really powerful. Also, they're going to improve iMovie, and it's actually a free update for anyone who's bought iMovie already. If you haven't, then that's going to cost $4.99. iPhoto is going to cost $4.99 as well. The iPad will be coming out on March the 16th in these countries. If you wish, you can actually pre-order today, which is great. So definitely get your pre-orders in if you really want one. And on March the 23rd, it will be released in these countries. Actually, before Apple did announce the iPad, they actually showed off the new Apple TV, which will be getting 1080p streaming and also a new user interface, which actually looks really cool. So there was a big update from Apple today on the iPad. We're getting Retina display, we're getting LTE, obviously the quad-core power, improved camera, so it's a massive update from last year. I don't know if I'm personally going to get one, but I'm definitely impressed with it. Also, the Apple TV is now got 1080p streaming, which is great, and the user interface looks amazing. Looks like they're going to add more applications to the actual Apple TV, which will be great. I hope they do. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and also like the video and comment below. Tell me your opinions on the new iPad. I really would like to hear it. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you later. Goodbye.